Hi guys, welcome back to another video. As you can see today I'm indoors, making a bit of a different video today. You may be aware if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm actually a taxi driver for my proper job, and I've mentioned a couple of times that as potential compositions, and that's what we're doing today. I've uploaded the images into Lightroom, and I'm going to go through them. They are all JPEG, so there won't be much editing going on with them. We'll see what we've got. Right, this first one, as I was going down, obviously the subject here would be the fire engine. So this type of image I would like to, or I would have liked to have got, is if I crop this down, use the good old Instagram crop. There we go. You see, I quite like the cloudy sky. You've got some nice clouds in the sky here, and obviously the fire engine. So we'll crop that down and see the image that I'm working with. Now, as you can see, there's a certain amount of noise on it, probably from the windscreen, probably because of the pixel rate on the GoPro where I've just cropped it down. But this isn't photography, this is just an idea of composition that I would go for. So if I click on auto, I like to click on auto because it just sets it for me. I've not really got any presets or anything like that, so I do it all from scratch. So I click auto, just to give me a rough idea, and then I'll play about with it. So what I'll do is I'll raise the exposure a little bit, raise the contrast a little bit, drop the shadows back down to where they would be. You see, that's a tip that I got from Gareth Danks. Not touch the shadows. So I mean, I can put the highlights back up, but it makes it too bright for me, this one, so I will drop the highlights there. I quite like what it's done with the whites. We'll lower the temperature just a fraction. The vibrance, we'll raise the vibrance a little bit. And the saturation a little bit. I just made the... Right, so I'll put lower the saturation overall just a little bit, and then what I'll do is I'll get the brush tool and brush over the fire engine, because what I want to do is bring out the reds of the fire engine to make it pop, as people like to say, make it pop. So I'll just go over the whole fire engine. There we go. So let's play with the fire engine. So we'll raise the temperature of the fire engine a little bit, raise the exposure a little bit, not too much, because we want it to look natural. So I'm just making small adjustments really. Bring out the texture, bit of clarity maybe, yeah, a little bit of clarity. Put the saturation up a little bit. Right, so let's go back up here. Let's go on to the reds. Now, as you know, I'm not a professional. I'm still only learning this sort of stuff myself. So please do leave a comment down below what you would have done, how you would have edited this a little bit different. I mean, bearing in mind it is a JPEG file, a heavily cropped JPEG file. So I'm just doing this just for a bit of fun, just to, you know, if I had had my camera and I could have stopped, then I would have taken a proper picture, but I couldn't. So, right, so yeah, let's do something with the sky. Let's get the gradient linear, or linear gradient. Some other YouTubers, I like to get this straight, or as straight as I can. And I see a lot of YouTubers have it like that. I'm not too sure. Right, so let's lower the sky, make the sky look a bit more moody. You see I'm only making small adjustments. Small adjustments, and I'll lower the saturation just a fraction. Yeah, now you see it's really made the clouds pop on that. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, what about this one? Shoreham Lighthouse. It's a subject that I've been meaning to shoot for quite some time. There is actually a car park right there. I just haven't got around to getting myself there with the camera. Every time I drive past it, I think, oh. So let's see what it looks like in black and white. Let's get rid of the auto. Right, black and white is, sometimes I do use the presets on black and white. They're just the ones that come with Lightroom, really. I like to go up, have a look through, get some interesting. I quite like the infrared. Makes it look quite interesting, doesn't it? But we'll carry on. Right, so let's lower the exposure, put the shadows down, drop the highlights. It's gone a bit too dark. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm liking that. Not sure I'm liking that, so whoa. Let's lower the saturation. Lower that. I quite like the clouds in the sky here, but again it's quite noisy and I've not even cropped it, so which I'm about to do now. It's alright colour wise, so let's crop it down because I like to get rid of the car so it actually looks like a photograph at least. I'll crop down the sky a little bit as well. Go to the rule of thirds. There we go. Well, let's see what that does. Yeah, as you can see, it's not the best quality, but yeah, it's an idea. It's a composition, and that's what I'm using it for. So as far as a composition goes, I think that's all right. So let's move on to the next one. This one is down in Brighton. It's like I say, it's a major road. There's the main railway lines going over the top there, and I think this bridge, well, that whole area has got some lovely archways, which is what I'm interested in here, and it's sort of framed by these trees. So that's what catches my attention here. I'm not sure how it looks like in black and white. It looks quite nice in black and white actually. So, but I don't know. What do you think? Black or white colour? Leave a comment below. I think I'm going to go black and white on this particular one. So yeah, let's lower the exposure a little bit. As you can see, the sky's totally blown out, but that's fine. So let's lower the highlights a little bit. Yeah, we won't touch all. Maybe lower the whites a little bit. No, we'll touch blacks. So there's a lot of greens around there from the trees, so let's see what adjusting. Let's darken the trees, darken the greens. There we go. The haze. You notice mainly I always forget about these boxes down there. Not really done anything but on this particular image, so I'm quite happy with the shades there and the contrasts. So let's crop it down. We'll crop the top down a little bit as well, get rid of some of that blown out sky, but I want to keep some of the structure of the trees. So the archway is sort of centre. Obviously it's not dead centre, because obviously I'm driving and I was over to the left a little bit. And to be honest, I don't really know how to adjust that. So yeah, so I think that's quite a nice composition. Possibly if you had someone crossing the road, here, like where that car is, if you had someone crossing, I that might put a bit of scale to it. Could be quite nice. But yeah, I quite like this particular composition. So that's that for that one. As you can see, I don't spend much time on them. The way I'm editing these is pretty much how I edit. You know, I don't spend much time on them at all. Sometimes, you know, some pictures I spend more time on than others, but this one, it's not so much the surroundings, but I just found the cyclist quite interesting. This is more a case of I was trying to practice my street photography, really. She caught my eye on the bike, and yeah, so I've decided to put her in. And whereas I've turned it black and white, she's almost gone silhouette. Right, so let's go down, tick these. Right, so obviously I'm not going to get rid of the whole of the car on this one. Right, so I prefer that particular composition, so let's see how that looks. Yeah, I mean, even from a still off a GoPro, that's not bad, is it? I quite like that one, actually. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, here's another one of the railway arches. Again, I would prefer to be in the middle of the road to get a better view of the arch, a better composition of the arch, but I find these quite interesting. So yeah, we'll see what we can do with this one. Right, so I think we'll keep this one colour. Take exposure down a little bit. Put the shadows back down to 0. Let's see. Again, I quite like the sky, but you see, I don't like this up here, but that's going to go. Maybe raise the highlights a little bit. Temperatures, take that down a fraction, get it look a bit colder. Take the saturation down a fraction. I'm only making like small adjustments. I might actually take that down into the negative actually for clarity. I've actually remembered about ticking the boxes. Right, so let's crop it down to the actual composition. Okay, it doesn't look straight either, does it? So let's see if we can straighten that up. It's quite tricky, really. How's that look? yeah, I mean the composition is it's okay. Obviously it'd be better off being over here with the camera, but yeah, even on a quiet day, you'd be taking your life in your hands, getting any sort of joy here. Anyway, we'll leave that one there. That's the composition. So yeah. Right, so again, this is another part of Brighton. Now this particular composition, I'm not actually sure I can get from this, because what I wanted to get was this girl between these two traffic lights, and I think it's come out quite well. I've got it quite well. Obviously, if I had my camera, I'd again framed it up a little bit better if I could have. But I quite like the composition. Yeah, I quite like the black and white as well, actually. So I'll drop the exposure a little bit, raise the contrast a little bit, drop the highlights a touch, lift the whites a little bit. Drop the temperature, which as you can see lightens the whole thing up. Dehaze. I quite like that, so let's crop it down, see if I can get the actual composition I wanted with the crop. I'd like to get rid of the car as much as I can, but I want to keep the traffic lights in there. I think that's the best I'm going to do with that one. You see, I quite like that. I do quite like that composition. Obviously the image quality isn't great, but that's not what we're after on this one. Right, so let's move on to the next one. Now, I had a job going up to the hospital, and obviously I'm never going to show people that I carry, but I pulled into the hospital and I saw these 3 ambulances lined up, and I just thought it's quite a good composition, really. It's very in with the times, with everything that's going on at the moment. So yeah, that's why I've opted to take this one. So let's just lower the exposure a little bit, put the shadows back down. Just lower the temperature a touch. Put the vibrance up a little bit more, the saturation a little fraction. You see, I like that. I do like that. So okay, so let's crop that one down. The thing is with the GoPro is it's always an extremely wide angle. So basically what I want is that. Right, so what I wanted was that. So I know you can still see a little bit of the car there. But to be fair, it was not a bad shot, I don't think. In fact, I'm going to leave it there, I think, with that one. There we go. Right, so that's a few shots that I would have liked to have got over the last couple of days. A few compositions. Maybe one day I'll get to these places with my camera, and yeah, like I say, you're driving around, you can't always stop to get them. So it's a little taster of what I see while I'm driving around, and how I've started viewing things, how I've started seeing compositions. Like I say, I'm not a professional photographer. The whole point of this channel is to show my learning process and my learning progress. So I'm trying to start seeing compositions while I'm out and about, and that's what these are. You know, like I say, I've got the GoPro in the window, and I try to go through it. Obviously, when I'm out driving as well, quite often I'll miss things because I'm concentrating on the road. So I'll go through the GoPro footage and see if I can see compositions, with the idea that one day I'm going to go back. But obviously conditions will be different and everything. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like it. Please do subscribe. And leave a comment below what you think of the compositions, how you would shoot them, and things like that. And I'll see you again next time.